Hey everyone, Michelle with Triangle Social Media here, social Soundbites. I can get the sound out with Michelle and enjoy doing weekly interviews with local and not so local business owners and just spotting the light onto them. And, it's like doing a one-to-one. You meet with business owners and you get to know them a little bit, but I like to do them here so that other people can get to know whoever I'm interviewing. And so I'm Michelle. I own Triangle Social Media. I help businesses with their social media platforms, social media management and coaching and workshops and fun stuff. And I just really enjoy meeting people, expanding my network. And this is part of that process. And so I have my guest, Maria Carlton, with me today. Hey, Maria, how are you?
I'm great, Michelle. Thank you.
It's so great to have you here, and I would love for you to just introduce yourself to everyone, and then I'm just going to ask you some random questions.
Okay, that's great. First of all, I'm Maria Carlton, and I title myself as Chief Potential Officer for Future Reach Coaching, LLC, which is my company that focuses on executive coaching and career transition.
Well, that's interesting. And just that whole topic of coaching brings about some questions. And so, what kind of clients do you work with? Do you have a particular niche of client that you help?
I do have a niche, but I find that coaching is helpful for all types of clients. My particular type of clients is to work with executives, those who are developing leadership skills or emerging leaders that want to hone to the point that they can move to the next level on their career track. I also work with individuals that are trying to identify either within their current career or the careers that they hope to have next, what makes them happy, how they can, grow their skills, or let's say they know that they don't like the job they're in now and they know that's not what they want, but they're not really sure what is the next step. So I can help them clarify what is in the cards for them when they move on, with their career, and help them align to the talents they have and bridge any skill sets that they need to bridge to move to the next skill. At the end of the day, we all want to be happy in what we do and who we work with. So a lot of that is the discovery is of what makes you happy and how can you use those talents to do that.
Well, that sounds interesting. So, how can a potential client or anyone looking for a coach, how can they know what kind of coach is right for them in the search?
Well, they can start by looking at a coach who offers a 30 to 40-minute free, what I like to think of as an exploratory session. So I know that I provide potential clients the opportunity to come on and talk to me for about 30, 40 minutes to make sure that, first of all, they need coaching, because sometimes what they need is other resources. But if it is a coach, making sure that the services I offer, are the right services for the time and that I'm the right fit for what they need. I can also work with them to figure out, if not me, then what are some resources that they can turn to.
Great thoughts.
And all of that is free for 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. And say, you begin working with someone, how long is the coaching process?
So the thing about coaching is that it could be anywhere from, I like to have people do no less than 6 weeks, but it could be anywhere from 6 weeks to a year, depending on what you want to work on, how you want to target your coaching, and at what pace you want to go. Do you want to do weekly? Do you want to do monthly? So it all depends. What are you trying to unravel in your life that's going to move you in the right direction? And the beauty of coaching is the coach has an interest in helping the client to succeed. The client is the one that drives the process. So you're creating a plan that best works for you.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And so, do you help people in a certain demographic area, or can you help people anywhere?
Well, the great thing about remote learning and remote training and remote anything is that I can help people anywhere. I have clients abroad in the UK, in India, in Virginia, in Florida, in South Carolina, and in North Carolina, because the remote systems allow you to be able to help people anywhere, where they
Hmm.
meet them where they are.
Right, right. Can you think of an example or a story or just a situation where you helped someone, just to give us an idea of what it might be to work with you, or an example of, how we ourselves, some potential client or customer, could get some specific targeted help from you?
Sure, I have lots of stories, but one in particular stands out because now this client, her husband was so impressed with the results that he became a client later.
Wow.
So this was a career transition, and I had a client who was in a role where she was very unhappy.
Hmm.
Had been doing this for a while, was in a leadership role, but knew that what she was doing was not what gave her satisfaction.
Hmm.
So she sought my help. We worked on some strategies. She knew that she had to leave where she was. And she just walked in one day and gave her notice, written it out and gave her notice, and then panicked, thinking, okay, now what? So we met, we worked on a strategy for identifying basically first what she wanted to do, and then how you target getting from what you want to what are the steps you need to take to get to that place. So we put
Hmm.
together a whole job search strategy. We put
Right.
together a whole how she rebrands herself, and that included updating her resume, her profile, thinking about her networks, who in her networks were ready and available to help her, um, and then to think about the types of companies, organizations, and drill down to what kind of work did she want to do? Did she want to do nonprofit? Did she want to do?
Hmm.
So as it turns out, one of the things that I like to do is assign specific target dates. I feel like if you don't set a goal, then you're
Right.
kind of out there moving the goalpost. So I had asked her, we started working the 1st of September, and I asked her, well, how soon do you want to find the ideal job for you? And she said, November 1st. And I thought, wow, that's pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And so she looked at me and she said, you don't think we can do it? And I said, no, I'm not the one that's going to do it. You're going to do it. And I
Hmm.
believe that if you're that determined, I believe that you will meet your target. And
Hmm.
so we began to working very targeted towards that goal. And within the first week in October, she already had like 7 interviews lined up. By the end of, towards the end of October, she had received 2 offers. And by November 15th, wasn't quite the first, but by November 15th, she was in a role that she was delighted in. She came home, she was happy. She had lots of stories to tell her husband. And within 2 months, he called me and he said, I've never seen her so happy in my life. I'd like for you to do the same for me. So,
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah.
What a success story. And it helps to have someone like yourself, as a sounding board, someone to encourage you and kind of journey with you through that transition, because that can be very stressful. And so it's good to know that's one of your services. Um, so I am going to put the name of your business out there. Do you want to say anything about the name of your business?
Yeah, I can tell you why I chose that. It's Future Reach Coaching LLC. And you will notice in my materials they have a little emblem. It's a little green. I like to think of it as a little green guy reaching up into. So I love greens and blues
Mhm.
because they indicate growth, and
Mhm.
the mobility of that whole figure upwards is that, we're always growing. As long as we're alive, we're on a continual journey. We should be expanding by growing and learning, and then sharing that same learning with others, because we grow every time we repeat and train others and teach
Mhm.
others, then
Mhm.
we affirm what we know. So future reach means that we can reach out and pretty much determine what kind of future we want. It could change from time to time, but
Right.
we're kind of the ones who direct the path to what we want in the future.
I love that. It's so true. It's so true. And so, Maria, I'm just so happy that you came on today and could share just a little bit about your business. And I encourage everyone to connect with Maria, get to know her more, follow her social media, check out her website. She may be the perfect person to help you through your transition or other things that you're going through. And I really appreciate your service, Maria. And I would love for you, after we're finished, to go to, we're broadcasting in several places. And so Maria will put her website and her social media links so that you can connect with her and continue the conversation,
Well,
right?
thanks, Michelle. I appreciate it. I'm not much of a camera person, so I appreciate this opportunity to sort of talk about my business. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. So happy to do it and appreciate you. And everyone, will see you next Wednesday, Social Soundbites with Michelle, every Wednesday at noon doing business interviews, just like this one.
All
So
right.
we will see you next week. Have a great week.
See you next week.